So I think maybe to start with, let's define what anticipating someone's needs is and what fawning is. When you do this thing for your partner, whatever that might be, maybe there's a daily thing that you do, or every other day, maybe there's different things that you call anticipating their needs. How do you feel before you do it, during and after? Do you feel care and empathy and love, or is there some fear and anxiety intermingled with it? Before, during, or after doing this thing for your partner, do you feel energized, or maybe even just neutral? Or do you feel depleted? Do you feel like you're self-sacrificing time, energy, and you are now drained as a result of doing this activity? Do you feel like that choice to do this activity is voluntary and intentional, or is it compulsive and automatic? Like there's a sense like, I just have to do it. This needs to be done. Do you keep in touch with your own boundaries when you're participating and anticipating their needs? Or do you neglect your boundaries? Your boundaries include your energy levels, your capacity, your attention, your time, your desires, your needs. So do you maintain those boundaries, or do you neglect them in order to provide that thing that you call anticipating your partner's needs? And finally, this might be a little bit harder to decipher if you haven't connected with that idea before, is about goal. Are you pursuing connection with your partner? Or are you pursuing avoiding pain, fear, conflict, any kind of harm, consciously or subconsciously? These things that I've just described that fall into the category of fawning versus actually anticipating someone's needs, as I mentioned at the start, are survival stress response. So if I'm telling you something and your body or your subconscious or even your conscious mind is resonating with information and you're like, oh my God, I'm doing that. Or you're starting to feel stress in the body, that means your body recognizes that you're doing that. It means we're starting to bring up some of that unconscious material. And it's painful. Some of these things are very hard to decipher because, of course, if it's your partner, you will feel like you're caring for them, like you do want to have connection with them. And like, because it's a relationship, of course, it's your voluntary choice. Like you're not in a prison, you're not, in a job. Nobody's forcing you to do it, right? So it can be a little bit confusing to start with. So the way that has helped me see the difference and what's what, because in relationships, in romantic relationships, it can be so intertwined, like, right, we can feel the love and affection and care and empathy and desire to help our partner from that intentional place. And it can be velcroed onto the fawning stress response. Okay, and for as long as it's velcroed and for as long as this survival part is still there, we can't fully, solely love them and care for them and want to show them appreciation. So the way to, if you're kind of struggling to see that right now, the way to know whether this is what's happening for you or not is to look at the rest of your life. I don't mean like 5 years ago, but I mean like right now. Look at not the relationship context, not in your romantic relationship, but the rest of your life. Are you drained? Can you maintain boundaries with other people? With your work colleagues, with your clients if you work with clients, with your boss, with your friends, with your mother, with your father, with your sisters and brothers? Or are your boundaries leaky? Do you feel like you often self-sacrifice for the benefit of other people or for the benefit of something being done? Are you generally speaking an anxious person? Do you have history of trauma? Do you have a history, more specifically, of being a parent to your parent?